Front page of the Sun this morning. Gary Lineker will today announce he's leaving the Beeb and will not front the 2026 World Cup. The former Leicester City and England striker bowing out by mutual agreement after 26 years with his final match of the day this Sunday. Let's get more on the story from talkSPORT news correspondent Nick Ellaby.
Sunday night's now expected to be Gary Lineker's last appearance on the BBC after 26 years. Former colleague Steve Ryder has criticised the indecision around his exit.
I think it's sad because it's a messy end to an excellent career, and the BBC deserve a little bit more. Gary deserves a little bit more.
It follows a string of social media controversies, but last week Lineker issued a rare apology saying he would never knowingly share anything anti-Semitic after posting a video with a picture of a rat alongside comments about the behaviour of the State of Israel. Steve Ryder told us a clean break is better for everybody.
Gary at least now will be able to have a great deal more freedom to express the opinions that he clearly wants to do, and the BBC will be able to carry on in a rather less compromised manner.
Gary Lineker reportedly leaving the BBC. We'll have that confirmed today. He's had an absolutely amazing career.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's easy to forget. You know, he was a blooming fantastic footballer who rebuilt a second career and did it superbly.
Oh, tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. And I'm sure you'll agree with me. I think he had one of the best teachers in Des Lynam. You know, Des is arguably...
all-time great.
Yeah, without doubt. I was lucky enough and privileged to work with Des on numerous occasions. And one thing Gary is, he's an intelligent lad, knew Des was the best, watched him, learnt from him, and then continued into have an absolutely wonderful broadcasting career himself, and good luck to him. All I would say is I'd probably agree with Steve in the respect that it's a little bit sad, I feel, the way it's ending, Jeff, and you know, it is a little bit messy. And in another world and another time, I'd like the two of them to have kind of left on more amiable or amicable terms, you know what I mean? But that said, wonderful career, intelligent man, as I said, and learned off the very best.
Yeah, and you know what? He has opinions, and whether you like them or not, whether you agree or not, he expresses those opinions and has done it fiercely. A lot of people don't like that. I get that. But frankly, I admire the fact that he's willing to speak out for what he believes, even if I don't always necessarily agree. Morning, gents. Can Dundee United get a mention first season back in the Scottish Premiership?
Brilliant.
They came from behind to beat an Aberdeen side who spent a few million to finish in the top four and claim a European spot. Wow.
I've got to say, I mean, absolutely tremendous, absolutely fantastic. Jim Goodwin, great job. And also David Gray at Hibs, worth a mention as well. They've had an absolutely fabulous season, they really have. And while I'm at it, I might as well give Steve Robinson the St Mirren mention as well. He's done an excellent job, lost a late goal at Celtic Park. So yes, been a great season for a lot of the teams in Scotland. Also, let's go ahead again, Jeff. East Kilbride. What a result of the weekend. We're in the big time. East Kilbride are in the big time, Jeff. I never thought I'd say it. My wee mum will be sitting watching that, and she'll be absolutely delighted. I can tell you that.
I mean, they were only formed a few years ago. When was it? 15 years ago, something like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we've only started.
Amazing.
It really is a great story.
East Kilby, they call them, don't they?
The Kilby. Kilby. Oh, yeah.
Brilliant. Now Jimmy Vardy bowed out at Leicester yesterday after 13 years at the club. Gurinder, the Leicester fan, told talkSPORT just how important he's been to the club.
I was feeling a bit emotional and, I had a few tears. He's been a great servant to the team, and the response today, scoring, that just sums him up. He is an absolute legend.
It was a typical Vardy goal as well, the run off the defender without the defender
down
seeing.
The side,
yeah, like you said, I'm going to miss his housery. He is 1 in a million. He is. I mean, I just feel that he's like the glue to the team.
The glue to the team. I know a lot of people say he's Leicester's greatest ever player. I find it really difficult to compare different generations, because I can think back to Frank Worthington and Peter Shilton.
Yeah, of course.
Gary Lineker and N'Golo Kante. But he's right there, isn't he?
Oh, he's in the conversation. 100% in the conversation. I love him, Jeff. Absolutely love him. I tried to sign him. I couldn't get any money. I tried to get him from Fleetwood when I was manager at Rangers, and I couldn't get any money to sign him. It was amazing. Bomber John Brown was on watching him 3 or 4 times. He says, you've got to get him. And that was the time I could get 200 grand. I couldn't get 100 grand or 200 grand, whatever it was, to buy him. Absolutely ridiculous. And you look at the career he's had, just plays on the shoulder. Some of the goals, his goal scoring record's absolutely phenomenal. A little bit old fashioned in the respect, opportunities to leave Leicester, stayed, was loyal to Leicester, wanted to play with Leicester, was delighted to continue staying there. Old school fans, 100% correct, love him. And I'm with the lady that was listening there. I like the bit of devilment, mate. I love the wind-ups. You know what I mean? All that stuff, going to away opposing fans and all that stuff, and giving them a wee bit, because he took a bit, he gave them a wee bit back. Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
You were saying earlier in the show that you think that he's already got something planned.
I do.
Yeah.
I might be totally wrong, Jeff. I might be 100% wrong, but I just feel that the fact that he made it public so early that he wasn't staying, I would find it surprising if he hasn't got something lined up right now. I mean, as we spoke to Jeff Peters earlier on, he was saying clearly there's life in the old dog. Yet there'll be no shortage of suitors, you know what I mean, at all sorts of levels. We were already talking about the possibility of him coming off a bench for Arsenal and Manchester United.
Yeah.
So we're talking about somebody that's still got it. Jeff said he's still got his pace as well. So I just think when he came out and was critical of himself and his club over the season, I think that kind of summed him up. I think he was spot on in everything he said. And when he made it known early that he wasn't re-signing or wasn't going to sign another contract, I would just be surprised. I think he obviously fancies something else, and I would think he knows right now where he's going.
Yeah, he'll be 39 in January. What an amazing achievement if he's still playing in the Premier League at 39. And he's looked after himself so well. Chris has just texted in on the topic of Vardy. Is he the best finisher at one-on-ones in Premiership history? Just one-on-ones.
Oh.
And he suggested a couple of others who were up there. Robbie Fowler, Michael Owen.
Oh, aye.
I mean, that is a tough conversation to have.
Oh, dear, yeah. Aye, that's really, really difficult. Henry was quite good as well, wasn't he? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, they were all scoring a great goals, but I love the 1v1 argument. That's a great, you know, I mean, he could get through and finish it. He could take them round. He was. That's a good point. He was very good in a 1v1 situation. 9 times out of 10, or maybe not 9 times, but he'd wrong foot the goalkeeper, take it round him. I always say to strikers to go through the goalkeeper, if you take it round them, you've got an empty goal, depending on their position, obviously, or they'll bring you down. And he was brilliant at that.
Mike and Dudley, highlights both on top form. Thank you, Mike. Would love you guys' take on whether you'd see Vardy being perfect for Aston Villa, given we require a striker who is brilliant but doesn't mind playing second fiddle.
Oh, what a point that is. I mean, obviously John Duran and Watkins was a talking point earlier on in the season.
Yeah.
I know. There you are. Would that be I mean, it'd be an interesting one, wouldn't it?
I think there's going to be a queue at the Vardy door. I'll be brutally honest, you know, because he has still got it, no question. Best one-on-one finisher, no contest, says Simon from Warrington, Robbie Fowler.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.